Hi, it's Romy Capricorn. Welcome to the channel. This is your August 2021 soul story. Hope this finds you well. And if you're sun, rising or moon, you might find this general reading just gives you a little bit of heads up to navigate through the next few weeks. So August has really high manifesting energy. Not only are we welcoming the second blue full moon in the sign of Aquarius that's making a really beautiful conjunct to Jupiter, we also have a series of trines with Uranus. So we open up 2nd and the 3rd of the month with Venus, and then Uranus will be trining with Mercury the 19th, 20th, and Mars on the 21st, 22nd, right on that full moon. We open up your reading with the energy of the Eight of Wands. Now, even though the skies up above here are quite stormy, he's actually looking completely in control here and actually harnessing that energy. And you know, as we approach the first new moon in Leo this year on the 8th, we're also going to be welcoming Lionsgate energy, where the sun and the brightest star in the sky, Sirius, are going to be aligning in this beautiful opening of this portal of energy. And honestly, like, the powers of being able to kind of really harness that focus for you, the concentration and the desire to be able to see progress and actually start to hear good news and perhaps very surprising, unexpected things coming in to support you. We have all the lightness here at his back, and he's literally just ready to kind of powerfully move forward. The lightning bolts here are just not phasing him whatsoever. So yes, in the background there might be a continuation of some rumbles of thunder and things going on, but you feel less affected by it this month. And in fact, there's a lot less outer planetary clashes going on, and so from that perspective as well, there's a little bit of a softening of some of the harsher energy. And I think honestly, Capricorn, this month you've got this newfound motivation to really keep some promises to yourself, and I think that's going to involve, you know, setting some new boundaries, putting some new routines and schedules in place so that you can achieve that. And even part of that process for you, I think, is going to allow you to really put some ghosts to rest. Now, it's really interesting when I was just connecting in with your energy, because I kept being given different signs of like sacred geometry. And it was almost coming through with this message of, you know, the natural alignment and order, and the fact that everything is connected. And when we work within those natural laws and we understand these intricate equations that, you know, they go right back to Egyptian times, we can start to kind of live our lives in a sense of a greater rhythm and flow. And here you've got the energy of the sun, and it's literally like he's bounding towards the sun. So you're bounding towards something positive through the course of August. And I feel it's just something about seizing the day and being present. But be mindful of this sacred geometry. You might even find through the course of August that it would be beneficial or helpful for you to, you know, perhaps be working with that, whether it's, you know, in crystal grids or just kind of tapping back into some of that beautiful design and symmetry and synergy that can come through, and see where it might be reflecting or mirroring different patterns for you, and throwing up things that are just going to give you some really positive breakthroughs. Now, this is also a month where we're set to see some really rare events. Of course, this second blue full moon in the sign of Aquarius is delivering something important, and it comes in particularly for you in that second house of value. You have a real emphasis around money and finances through the course of this month, actually, with the Leo sun in your 8th house as well. And so you may be looking at shared resources and investments, trying to get a better handle on your money, or looking at different income streams. You may even find that money comes in quite quickly, unexpectedly, out of the blue in some capacity, which is really wonderful. I do want to say to you, because I think that there is a kind of slowing down quality that comes in with August, and especially in that northern hemisphere, this sort of languid, lazy feeling of summer. And so there's an invitation here to say, where are you rushing? You know, are you half awake? Are you missing out on something, or not enjoying the full capacity of the beauty of what you're experiencing because your mind is elsewhere, or you're trying to kind of second guess what the next thing is that's going to be coming in? And so I think be aware of that, because with that 8th house energy, there's an opportunity to come much closer and much more intimately into not only the energy that you're feeling and experiencing, but that can also translate quite powerfully into relationships as well. And your devil comes in here for me with a very charged, almost highly sexual like desire. And so for those of you in relationships or kind of seeking partnerships and connections, it may well be that, you know, there is some quite high energy around that, but also the capacity to kind of get to know yourself at a deeper level as you perhaps allow some of the walls to come down, or even, you know, have some of those harder conversations so that you can open up and really allow some of that spiritual transformation in your relationship to take place. Remember, the 8th house ruled by Scorpio is about rising from the ashes, and so even if that first full moon in Aquarius back in July 23rd caused some stirring or brought some things to the surface, the second blue full moon on the 21st, 22nd of August with this lovely alignment with Jupiter does indicate that there is far more harmonious solutions to be found. Of course, the devil does suggest that there's a quality almost of obsessiveness that might be coming through the course of August, but to be honest, I quite like it as he sits alongside the energy of the 8 of Wands and the Sun here, because what I really feel is that you might get obsessive about things that are actually really good for you. You know, there's a reminder here that some of your greatest revelations are still to come, you know, and you are the natural ruler of the energy of the devil, Capricorn, and so I think there is something that we're going to be coming to an understanding about within ourselves. And again, you know, as we talk about this sort of patterns that exist, you know, by way of that sacred geometry, and we can start to look at our life and, you know, how it's made up, and, you know, particularly maybe around your comfort zones, you know, and sort of trying to break free from where you feel tethered to things that are perhaps not so good for you at this point. And I think there's a bigger sense of a reevaluation that's also going to be taking place. You know, you're not supposed to question your belonging. You're never meant to get it all right. You were never meant to not feel worthy to have the things that you are seeking and desiring. And so there's something about kind of giving yourself permission, but perhaps we first have to meet the devil face to face and kind of have that conversation. And so that might translate into you having a conversation with the self or with somebody else through the course of this month that could give that real breakthrough. I think you're also going to be, you know, as we talk about this idea of putting ghosts to rest, perhaps, you know, letting go of something that has, you know, demonstrated quite a high degree of toxicity for you in the past. And your King of Wheels here, of course, linking into the King of Pentacles, your sign, is talking to me about the tangible, real opportunities, the people and the situations and the energy that are going to be showing up this month that are going to say, yes, you can count on me, or you can count on this, you can trust in this. And again, you know, Uranus, which is moving retrograde in the sign of Taurus on the 19th, and, you know, again, that's slowing down, giving us the opportunity to master something. And remember, you know, the King of Wheels has taken a long time to get to this position. You know, he's learned his craft, and yes, he's become very abundant in the process of that. But, you know, he was allowing of himself to be the student and to kind of diligently, committedly sort of work through that timeline. And so there's something really important here about what you're learning about the process of something coming to fruition and blossoming for yourself, but also like the realness of it, you know. And I think it's about, at this stage, you needing to see some tangible results. And I do think that that is coming through for you in this month to kind of give you some confidence and courage to kind of keep moving. Mercury, in fact, is moving into the sign of Virgo, a fellow earth sign, on the 11th. So again, that's going to feel a more conducive language for you to be able to express yourself. And almost the news that you are receiving is in a way that, even if it's surprising or unexpected, it's very truthful and honest, and that's what you need. You need the clarification of it. So the Three of Swords comes in because, you know, whenever we make changes, whenever there is transitions or shifts or kind of paradigm moments of change in our life, then, you know, it can bring things to the surface that sometimes we weren't expecting, and there can be that tender ouch, that pain, that kind of reminder of something that we have perhaps avoided or not dealt with properly. And of course there's a grief quality that comes through with the energy of the three, but it's also so honest, you know. And I think, again, this is what you need. You need that honest conversation with yourself or with someone else to be able to set you free from someone or something. And because we have this overall energy of progress in August and a very very, very strong indication of needing to be prepared. This has come out across all of the readings so far in August, Capricorn. What do we need to be prepared for? Well, for things to start happening very quickly and positively and abundantly for us, but that requires us to kind of get out of our own way a little bit, or to make sure that there aren't any skeletons in the closet that are going to come along and at the least opportune moment kind of sabotage us, or have us in a situation where we feel unable to take advantage of opportunities or to say yes to things. And so again, the Three of Swords for me is almost a must. It's almost like a necessity to kind of have this situation, this release. It's a very release card, and it can be very, very healing when we allow it and we kind of perceive it in that way. And so yes, you've absolutely got a choice as to how you take that on board, but here what I'm saying is that overall this is about a preparation time for what's coming next. And that's in the positive. So to get concentrated, to feel motivated, to make sure that all of your energy is being directed, especially from an emotional perspective, and not feeling drained or siphoned or kind of held in this vessel of heartache or loss. And it's not to say that you just need to be so dismissive of your feelings. We're not saying that at all. In fact, we're, encouraging you that through the course of this month, if you need to have that active release, it will help you, because on the other side of that, there's going to be some kind of breakthrough. Now, Venus moves into the sign of Libra on the 16th of the month, and Venus is the natural ruler for Libra. We also have the goddess Juno, who is the asteroid goddess for marriage and partnerships, and she rules the 7th house of Libra. She's moving direct in Sagittarius, okay? So both of the emphasis here is around bringing in not only more harmony and balance by way of our relationships, but also a greater degree of personal freedom and expansion. And I think what you are going to feel very acutely in any of the things that start to transpire for you in August especially is whether it feels really expansive and growth filled, or whether it feels like it's retracting and you're kind of getting that sense of tension or slight restriction within the body. Now, your Knight of Cups is kind of walking directly towards this Three of Swords, and I feel to a certain degree it's going to feel like a bit of an antidote for you, okay? It may come in on a romantic level to kind of pick you up if you have gone through some kind of breakup or there's been something connected to relationships, but for others it could just be the spark of a new creative vision. And of course in Leo season, that whole creative process is coming to life, and the spark that comes with it to not only give you the impetus of this is what I want to do, but also this is how I'm going to do it, because then we move into Virgo season and we have all of that drive and energy and that ability to concentrate to get things done. But I also think that there may be offers that are coming in for you, and those offers feel, again, for me, expansive, optimistic. Now, of course, Knight of Cups can connect into a Scorpio, Cancerian, Pisces, maybe a specific person, but honestly, in this particular reading, what I'm feeling is it's more about the door that gets opened for this. And perhaps you're not seeing it initially because you might be dealing with something that kind of has you emotionally distracted, and that's okay, because I don't think he's going anywhere. He's just going to sort of sit patiently waiting in the wings, and it's like you're not going to miss out on the opportunities. I do want to say that to you. But remember what I said about this month having like rare events. So even if it comes in as a very small spark, if it's something that doesn't feel very I don't know, it just doesn't seem all that initially, this is a spark that can really turn into like a roaring fire, especially because around that second blue full moon in Aquarius, we actually have Uranus trining with Mars as well. So it is just a really opportune time to see things coming together. And here we have the Six of Pentacles coming in, and it is about you receiving. This is about receiving, and perhaps this is what we're also working on, and perhaps that's where we're kind of unraveling some of the stories or experiences that we've had where we haven't been able to be in a position to fully receive the love that we want, the health that we're deserved of, the levels of abundance that we're capable of. But even though we have this like high gate that feels like at the moment the door is closed and all of the bounty is kind of behind it, the woman here giving you this apple from this abundant purse that she's holding them is an indication of what's coming. Yeah, and you're almost there, you're just about to touch it. So I want you to understand that the series of events and situations that are playing out for you over the coming weeks are directly leading you towards a time when it's not just about a drip feed, it's about a beautiful, constant, steady stream. And perhaps what we need to work through is what is it that we have done in the past, or, you know, are continuing to do in the present that might be stopping us or holding us back from being able to allow that. So there's a level of almost like scrutiny that I see with the Three of Swords. And again, Virgo season is really kind of conducive to that. Now in August, I do think there's going to be a certain element of confusion and almost kind of nervous tension that's going to be playing out throughout the month, because there's that feeling of like something's coming, something's changing. And, you know, how you want to interpret that, of course, is going to be down to where you choose to direct your thoughts. And so this is a reminder that if we take the road of wanting to fill that inner well within us with really beautiful, nourishing, positive, optimistic, expansive ideas, then we're far more likely to feel that anticipation, and that nervousness is something to feel exhilarated by and not fearful about, okay? But again, we have this energy of coming back into harmony and a sense of union with the self. You've got to take care of you this month, Capricorn, you know, so don't miss on the little details, because what I feel is that in the preparation, when things happen, they're going to happen all at once and very quickly. And so you want to almost get things in place now that are going to support you, mind, body, and soul, for whatever changes come next, you know, in whatever area of your life that might be transpiring in. So whether it's like a big change in and around the family, or something that's happening professionally or health-wise, it's like, what can you put in place now by way of just taking care of things that gives you a new sort of powerful foundation? Back to what I said at the beginning of the reading, you do have a new motivation to keep promises to yourself. And for me, the promises should be definitely around that aspect of self-care, you know. How you love and the way you receive love in all of its beautiful kind of rainbow kaleidoscope. You know, I don't just mean romantically, but in all ways, you know, the love that you have for the money in your life, the safety, the security, for the health, for the relationships, for your relationship to the earth. Like, this is all being really highlighted and I guess like under review. And if there are certain connections or, you know, parts of your life that it doesn't feel, you know, it feels empty, it feels void of that love, then again we have to kind of start to ask ourselves the questions: why is that? What's missing? What do we need to top up with? Where do we need to direct ourselves? And so this is also an important reminder about getting the right balance in your life. Again, Juno, that asteroid goddess in Sagittarius, you know, your spiritual journey, you know, the way that you look at the world, and that need for expansiveness and vision questing and kind of knowing what more there is for you is really being amped up. And that means that you have to feel a certain degree of personal freedom in your life, which means that, you know, you have to have time and things that are going to be supportive and nurturing, and that's when you'll get the best out of the relationships in your life as well. And also you'll be able to then take advantage of some of the tangible things that we see coming in for you through the course of this month. Now, it's a tremendous time in August. Anything you want to be doing by way of sort of professional advancement, yeah, because what we're looking at is almost it's like a help up. That's what I feel. So it's like you do something and then all of a sudden, like, you know, somebody promotes it for you, or, you know, you have an idea to kind of tackle a certain market, and then by default you get to open up into something else, or you go for a job and all of a sudden it leads to an even better opportunity. There's something about it being amplified, and that's to the positive. The Empress comes in here and she says, you know what, there's plenty for everybody. There's no need to kind of get stuck in that scarcity mindset, but there is a need to be able to nurture and cultivate that really important connection within the self, and to take care of you so that you feel taken care of by the universe and by people. Now, it's a tremendous time, especially around that full moon, to be put directly in contact with people that can be really helpful for you by way of progress, especially anything that's connected to online, which could be online dating, you know, online work that you're doing, launches, you know, even anything community led. It's a time for friendships to sort of be back in the forefront and actually have some kind of positive experience around that for you as well. But the Empress also suggests to me that the aspect of fertility is very strong right now in your life, and so you might be directing that specifically towards some kind of creative venture. For some of you, it may absolutely be in connection to family and children, but the discussions, the initiation, and things really starting to move in that area of your life are going to be quite powerfully highlighted through the course of August as well. Just remember that, you know, when we talk about this aspect of like the high manifesting energy, what it's also going to deliver for you as well is the truth of the falseness of things or people, you know. And again, maybe that's a little bit where your Three of Swords comes in as well, because, you know, there's just that disappointment or that kind of that feeling of just I don't know, someone or something not being what it seemed, you know. So there's almost like a little bit of an energy of that comes through. But regardless, you have so much bounty of goodness and kind of positive energy that's working to kind of feather your nest through the course of August and prepare you for what comes next. Like, I really want you to be focusing your mind and your energy and your soul in that direction, you know. So let's just take a look and see how the Oracle cards just want to join this conversation. So this is the Ark deck, and it's well over 100 cards, so it's a bit of an awkward one to shuffle here, but let's take a look. Right, we have the Wolf, beautiful. Knight of Pentacles, reputation, reliability, and results. I quite like that for you this month. Of course, we've got that nice, tangible, real, we're moving. And you also have with the Wolf the quality of being able to be the lone wolf at times and exercise that beautiful level of independent personal freedom, and at the same time be part of the pack and really enjoy that experience and have that sense of loyalty and togetherness and be moving forward as part of that really powerful solid unit. I think the reliability and the sense of you starting to see results for the consistency is going to be really important. Like, I know you need a little bit of a confidence boost in some area of your life. I can absolutely recognize that for you. And I feel that this is the month that you're set to receive that. And that's important because it's going to make all the difference in sort of sustaining your motivation. But again, we talk about the sort of promises that we're making to ourselves through the course of August and how important they're going to be, by the way, not just now, but over the next few months and well into next year. So you're really laying the foundation for something quite remarkable this month, Capricorn. Okay, let's have a look at the Mystical Moments Oracle. Sleeping Beauty's dream. And maybe you are waking up from the nightmare, you know, maybe you are feeling like you're finally turning a corner and you're ready to sort of let something go. Sleeping Beauty, of course, is that sort of romantic love story as well, isn't it? She's sort of waiting for her Prince Charming to literally come and awaken her from the nightmare. And I do feel to a certain degree, you know, if you have found yourself caught or you know, experiencing really difficult, challenging circumstances, that there is going to be outside help coming in. And again, that indication with the Six of Pentacles here, showing us what's coming, the bounty, the, you know, the fruitfulness, the abundance that's going to be incoming. And, you know, she's very in her head at the moment, so probably a need to be grounding the energy. But again, the Wolf is sort of offsetting and balancing that out. She also is linked to number 3, though, which of course is with the Empress, and again brings that aspect of creativity, of collaboration, of kind of bringing things to life, you know. And I think that's what's going to happen. Perhaps you're just going to feel like you're coming back to life, or you're going to be putting energy back into things to bring them back to life, whether they be relationships or, you know, or something else within your timeline. Okay, so your crystal energy card is Moonstone, beautiful, linking into the crown chakra, which I think is important when we're just talking about this being all in the head. Transcendence, gorgeous, evolutionary nature of what's taking place for you through the course of August. Of course, Moonstone really connects in powerfully to the divine feminine, which you're working with Empress energy here. And I think it's really helping to balance out what may be going on there in some areas of your life. But Moonstone, of course, is a very gentle but very powerful stone by way of protection and kind of nurturing, linking into Cancer energy, especially in that sort of lunar cycle. And I think the importance of that second full blue moon, bringing in these rare events, you know, conjunct to Jupiter, expanding something positive in your life. It's also number 1 here, so it's very much about that sense of self, that identity, that rejuvenation and transformation, and really you receiving, you know, information directly from source through the crown chakra. So any time that you can take to kind of more closely align with your higher self through the course of this month, you're going to be much more charged up with that energy and be able to move forward in a direction that takes you away or helps you to understand more clearly, you know, what some of the other teachers might be showing up in your timeline and what that's all about. So this is a general reading for the month of August. If you'd like to join me for the extended version, Capricorn, and we're going to go ahead and talk for another 20 minutes or so. I would just invite you to think about a question I might not have answered in the main spread. You can find the link in the description box underneath for the access to the extended readings. It's just a way to support my work and the channel, and very grateful for those of you that do, if it's resonating for you. Okay, we're just going to now just clarify this main spread. Okay, so just beginning with the 8 of Wands, coming in with the 5 of Cups here, and the 6 of Cups. Hangman and the 6 of Swords. It's kind of stop-start energy there, isn't it? Hermit, of course, linking into that Virgo energy that we're going to be working with, and the counsel that you will receive. Queen of Wands and King of Pentacles coming through again here. Some important people will check into that in the extended. Devil with the 2 of Cups here. Yeah, this desire and sense of intimacy, what you're merging with, who you might be aligning with. Oh, double 3 of Swords there. Okay. You know, perhaps this somewhat uncomfortable, you know, there is some sudden energies coming up through the course of August, but it's still a very transformational time. It might just kind of catch you unawares a little bit, you know. You've got this though. The Strength card coming in there. High Priestess and the Empress here. Like, you're really coming into your own as a result of the experience. So sometimes we don't want to deny ourselves what can feel initially as more uncomfortable or challenging moments. Okay. So if you'd like to receive a few more messages about this reading, then please do join me for the extended. Otherwise, I'm going to wish you beautiful blessings for this month of August. Thanks for tuning in, Capricorn. You take care.